Welcome back to Omni Edition Garden City. I'm Dan York, and as we promised, Allyson Bettis is here. She is Garden City's City Clerk Treasurer. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
So we have 2, possibly 3 elections to talk about coming up during the next 6 to 8 months.
Yes, we do.
The first one will be a special election that is necessitated by a proposal at the state level.
The state of Michigan is having a statewide special election, and it's going to be on May 5th. And we want to make sure everybody is aware of it because we usually don't have elections often, or at least since the school district switch election times. We don't usually have that. So we want to know that, one, the ballot proposal is out. It'll be posted to our website within a week or so. We just have to get the proof available. And our absentee ballot applications are out. And so you can get an application, fill it out, and then when the ballots are available, they'll be ready for you. There's a couple of things that you should know. This is the only issue on the ballot.
Proposal 1.
Proposal 1, which is regarding sales tax and roads and school funding, and also even a little bit about funding for cities. And so that is the only thing on the ballot, and you can sign up for your absentee ballot as soon as possible.
Okay. And the deadline to get an absentee ballot, is there actually a deadline?
There isn't a deadline. It's the Saturday before the election. Okay. Even though after that time, if there's an emergency, the law provides that you can still get an absentee ballot. So if you have a question, certainly call our office. The last day to register, if you're new to our city or if you're a new voter, is going to be April 6th. And so you want to make sure that you register to vote. If you want to check to see if you're registered to vote, you can call our office, of course, and we will look at it. We're at 734-793-1620. Or you can go to our website. There's a link to the state's website where you can also check your status to see if you're registered to vote and where at that site. Or you can go directly to their link. That link is vote.michigan.gov/MVIC. And that stands for Michigan Voter Information Center, I believe.
Okay, very good. And that graphic is on the screen so people don't have to
Hurry up and write
hearing it from us. That's correct. All right, so if you voted in the last election, you're registered.
You should be perfectly registered to vote. Only thing you have to worry about is if you've moved. If you changed your...
even within Garden City?
Even within Garden City, although that isn't as problematic as if you moved outside of Garden City, which is always problematic.
Never should leave.
But also, if you've changed your license for whatever reason, Michigan law says that your voter address is your license address, and you can't have one or the other.
And what if you were married or your last name changed since the last election?
You might want to come in and make sure you've got that straightened out, but either way you'll be able to vote. Just bring your ID. We might ask for your marriage license, but just bring your ID.
Okay, so Tuesday, May 2nd, special election, one item only, proposal 1.
Tuesday, May 5th.
Tuesday, May 5th. I'm looking right at it, and I said the wrong date.
That's all right. I do that all the time.
So Tuesday, May 5th.
Yes.
That's the one after the 4th. And it's proposal 1 only. The deadline then to get a absentee ballot is simply the Saturday before.
The Saturday. We're always open that Saturday.
Okay, and to register to vote, that deadline is April 6th.
Correct.
Which is fast approaching.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, talking about May 2nd, and that's probably where I got this from, we'll have a couple of activities here at City Hall on May 2nd, one of them being a Community Shred Day, that this is the 3rd or 4th one we've tried, right?
I believe this is going to be our 4th Community Shred Day. It's one of my favorite activities, and it's going to be, and typically we like to have them that same Saturday that we're open for the election, and again, that'll be the case. So, as you said, Saturday, May 2nd, we will be here for shredding from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And in addition to that, as we did just this past fall, we're going to take that opportunity to collect donations for our home pantry, which we use to feed needy families here in Garden City.
And that's the food pantry at Maplewood Community Center, run through the Community Resources Department.
Absolutely. So when you're bringing your junk mail and all of the things that you need shredded, just pick up a few cans or a case, if you like, of food, and we'll take that right from you as well, and we'll use it to feed a lot of people who need some help.
Okay. On the shredding itself, are there any limitations, requirements? What can you do? What can't you do?
There are limitations. We ask that you bring no more than 5 grocery bags or banker boxes,
Okay.
just to make sure that we have enough room in the mobile. It is a finite amount of space. And so that's pretty much the only restrictions. We ask that you be in line at least by 12:45, so in case we have a whole lot of activity, which we haven't had quite yet, but if we have a whole bunch of activity, we'll be able to get you in and out. People enter in off of Central, which is behind Kroger, behind the police department.
Runs north and south.
Yes, and come in that back driveway, and then we'll scoot you right back on out. We have volunteers. We have people from the Youth Assistance Program. We have people from the Key Club that come and volunteer. Some handsome young men and women come and pick that up. You don't even have to get out of the car.
And the object here, not only to get rid of this material, but this is usually things that you're concerned about have someone steal your identity, or this is information that you don't want to just throw in your trash. And by doing it this way, it's guaranteed to be secure.
It is, and if you like, you can move your car to the side and you can watch them shred it.
So they shred it right on site?
They shred it right on site. We have a mobile unit. One of the vendors that we use, they're called eShred, and they come with their mobile unit and they shred it right there, put it in the truck with knives and forks or whatever they have in there that shreds it.
Knives and
machetes.
Forks, that's right. And also, not directly related to you, but we're also going to have a tire collection that day. Is that correct?
Yes, our DPS director, Kevin Rooney, is joining with us, and at the same time, you can bring your old tires, and so that those are taken care of responsibly. We'll have a dumpster there, and again, someone can come and take it out of your trunk if you've got a few tires that you want to make sure that you get rid of in a responsible way, and they'll dump them right in there. Again, you don't even have to get out of your car. And so that's the first time we'll be doing that. We hope to continue to do that when we have Community Shred Day. So you can shred your tires as well as your identity.
You have all kinds of room at your house for new junk.
Always my favorite.
And all of this information, some form or another, will be on the city's website, www.gardencitymi.org, and right there on the homepage.
They will.
All right, now, so potentially, obviously, we at least have one more election this year, and that is our fall election for mayor and council. The potential other election would be a primary in August if we need it.
That's right. So if we need it for either any kind of proposal, or if we have enough candidates that we will need to narrow it down a bit, we will have an election, and that's going to be on August 4th if we need to have that one. And the, of course, fall one will be on November 3rd.
Now, something people should know, if they want to run for council or if they want to run for mayor, the deadline is quite early for that, especially for a November election, but this is due to a lot of things. But the deadline it's April 21st, right?
Right, and it is April 21st. And the reason we have to do that is because, one, we need to know if we're going to have a primary. And so it has to be before the August. And then we have to, of course, get ready for that. And so candidates who are interested in being mayor or being on the council or being a part of the library board.
Forgot about that.
Because those are elected now. And all of those candidates can get a petition packet from my office, and it will give you all of the instructions. Basically, you need to be a Garden City resident, a registered, what they call a qualified voter in the city of Garden City. For mayor and council, you'll need a petition signed by at least 75 other qualified voters of Garden City, and you'll need to prove that you're All-American and and that you were born here on Earth. And so we've got those packets in our office again. And again, they have to be turned in to us by Tuesday, April 21st at 4 o'clock. Because if you are a minute after 4 o'clock, and you are my very best friend in the entire free world, you still don't get to run for council because the deadline is the deadline.
Okay. And if there are more than double the amount of candidates that there are seats, that would force a primary.
That is correct.
So there are 4 council seats up, correct?
Right.
So if there are 9 candidates.
9 candidates for council, or 3 candidates for mayor, or in the case of the library board, it's going to be 7 candidates for the library board.
You
because
pulled that number out, did you?
I did.
Because I couldn't remember it
me?
either. So
I was adding it in my head as we spoke.
okay, all right. Anything else we want to talk about? Because it actually looks like a pretty busy election season for you, along with everything else that you do.
We've got a little bit of election drama coming up, and then we are going to follow that up with a presidential election year. So, yipes.
Yeah.
But we're going to be there for our voters just as we always try to be. I think that's about all I can think of. Business licenses for, I did want to tell you, for Shred Day, businesses who are in Garden City are also eligible to
great.
shred. So if they want to get rid of patient information or any other vital information that you take from your customers and you want to responsibly shred it, with those same limitations, you can come right on up. We want to make sure our corporate citizens have the same opportunities.
Okay, and shame on me for not knowing this date, but animal licenses. You will have people at the flea circus, correct?
We will have people at the flea circus. That's always a time that people can bring their veterinary records, their vaccination records for their animal, and they can get a license right there at the flea circus. For those people who are just renewing, those licenses, those renewals will go out around May, and those are usually due June 1st.
Okay.
And so if you need your animal registered, just come on up, make sure you bring the animal's vaccination records, and we can take care of that. And business licenses, the deadline for those renewals were just passed on February 28th. So if you hurry up, we won't charge you a late fee or you get a ticket from our ordinance officer.
Okay.
So just remind the businesses that they need to make sure their license is renewed.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to thank you very much for spending a couple of minutes with us and going over all of this information.
Good.
And wish you and your staff the best of luck.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, May 5th is the special election.
May 5th.
The deadline to register to vote in that, if you're not already registered, is April 6th.
Very good.
The deadline to run for council or for the mayor or for the library board is April 21st.
Correct.
With a possible primary August 4th and definitely a general election on November 3rd.
You are going to work for me pretty soon.
Yeah. Not gonna happen. All right, we'll wrap up Omni Edition Garden City right after you watch this.